Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about GLYC, the stock that I was holding for a couple of days, and it's a bottom bounce. This is my strategy that I'm trying now: is catching stocks that go way down, and there's maybe not even necessarily a reason they should, so they should bounce. And this stock. So you can see the news. The news says that they had a loss of 27 cents a share. They were expecting a loss of 26 cents a share. So they missed earnings by a penny. They were still up, but they missed earnings by a penny. So um, it's funny that as soon as that comes out in the after hours trading, the stock goes down 24%. That's a lot. So you expect it to at least recover some of its gains. You can see here on the daily chart, since November, the stock is up 130%. It comes back down a little bit in the few days before earnings, about 9%, and then overnight it just tanks. And you can see the volume over here is giving me the middle finger. It just that went from an average of 760 shares to the day that it tanked 6.9 million, 7 million shares. So 10 times the average volume. So uh, it seemed like a pretty decent setup. It was a sell-off. A lot of people's stop limits got hit, and it just went crazy. So here's what happens. A lot of times the recovery, some recovery happens first thing in the morning. So if you see from where it hit bottom up until the first 15 minutes of the day, it came back up 8%. So that's pretty good for a quick recovery. And you can see here in the morning it gets choppy, it consolidates, and you can draw a pretty easy wedge right there and see where it breaks out of that consolidation. It goes up another 3-4%. Um, so I got alerted about it over here. It goes down in this downward channel. You can see it's got this channel. It goes down, breaks back down 4%, getting rid of that gain. And you can see the volume is all here all the way through about 11:30 in the morning. So it quietens down, and the strategy has been to kind of pick it up at that point. Maybe you don't pick it up right then, but you're looking for a recovery. So I saw this wedge. You see the downward channel, and then it bounces off the VWAP and goes back up. And you can see this upward channel. And you can pretty easily draw these channels on this chart. So there's one channel. It's going up, pretty tight little channel right there. It breaks down, another little channel, breaks down. Okay, so I wasn't sure exactly what it was going to do, but I actually, my mistake was one, that I didn't see these smaller channels whenever I was looking at the stock. When I was watching it, and it was probably, let's say I had about this much data to go on. I bought in at 322, so it's somewhere right. I bought right there. So let's just say I had that much data to go on. So I drew, actually, I saw the wedge, but that was earlier. So what I did is I drew a channel coming off that morning consolidation. You could pretty easily draw a channel that way. And on the bottom and the top, pretty sure what I drew tight channel there. So you had a pretty tight little channel. It was moving up, breaking down, moving up, going sideways, but still going up. Broke down a little bit, so I bought right there. When I saw it come back down a little bit, I was like, you know what, it's going to bounce off this bottom part of the channel. And it did exactly what I expected it to. Bounced off the bottom of the channel, and then I expected it to go up. So then it goes up, and there's close right there. It goes back up. Now from where I bought it, 1828, so it says right there, up until just before close, it's up. It went up almost 3%. And I had good mind to sell it, knowing that it's going to go up to the top of this channel. So if we extend that bar. So I had really good mind to just sell it before the end of the day, make a few pennies, and be on with it. I did not see the break in these smaller channels, like right there, and then it broke down, and really you could almost even form a wedge off of that. It broke to the bottom, so I should have known, basically. In any event, I wasn't watching that. The whole time I was just watching this Y channel from the start of the day, and that was probably giving it a little bit too much leeway. So, but like I say, I bought in about 322. I bought in a good price. I thought I had a great price. I actually paper traded this thing at 1822, so I got in even better and would have had a full 3% there. There's a full 3% move. I should have known 3%. Take your profit. It's good, even if you don't get the full 3%. So here's what happened the next day. It just freaking goes off the deep end. So you can see this in the morning. It's a little choppy. And you can see right here, it bounces a little bit off my channel, and then it breaks below it. And it doesn't have to break like way down below it. Other people are drawing these channels, so they're setting their stop losses. I mean, like for example, in TC2000, I can just go here and you know, I can put a stop loss directly in. And so a lot of people do that. So I saw that, and then it bounced right back up, and I was like, I'm safe. Then it bounced back down, hovered down. It's below the VWAP there, and it goes back up, and it never really recovers. You can see, so it kind of hangs out around the VWAP. A lot of people are watching the VWAP, and then it just tanks. And obviously, some people had a stop loss there. I mean, you could have very easily drawn some more lines there to say, okay, if they're thinking that's the bottom for the day, so it bounces off the bottom, recovers a tiny bit, bounces again, recovers a little more, and then it bounces again and breaks off of it, you're done. You're done. So I should have known better than that. It went on the next rest of the day, so this was a really frustrating day. You can see it just broke way down. A bunch of selling volume in here, some buying too, some people expecting it to go back up, and so that happened, and it popped back up. You can see there was another good play there for about 4 or 5%. So my thought on some of these is, if it doesn't, you know, it probably would have been best to just take the 8% here. If you could have gotten in, so check this out. If you can get in basically right at the bottom of the open, so this is the first minute of the day, first 2 minutes. The bottom of that is at 1725. So from 1725, let's just say you don't capture all of that. You capture this piece right here at about 1747. 1747, it's got the consolidations. You see the wedge, so it breaks the wedge. So you wait, and I don't know what's going on with my video right now. It's driving me freaking crazy. But you could have gotten 8% pretty easy, an 8% move. If you don't catch that, you got to wait for another obvious move. There was movement in the channel. You could have taken that. So you could have taken 8%, hop back in, taken another 3%. You're in for, 11% for the day, and then be done with it. And that would have been a great day. I didn't do that. I bought in way over here, where on the second move that I could have taken. I mean, there was a move there. There was a few different moves. I didn't take it, and then I just held, and I just freaking held until over here, and I just gave up for a loss. Wasn't a huge loss, 20 bucks, but it's a loss nonetheless when I should have taken profits. Lesson learned. My strategy on these bottom bouncers now is going to be, because I've seen a few that actually they recovered pretty quickly within the first day, or within usually by the second day they recovered, and this one did not. You can see we've got, get rid of that line. You can see we've got red, red, red. So you're looking at the first red and probably buying at close of the first red and expecting it to go up the next day. This one did not. It just fell apart and then fell apart again. And so I said, I've had it. That's not usual with these bottom bouncers, but I think from now on, I'm going to capture this movement here to where I can get, more of that 8% right off the bat, be done in 15-30 minutes of the trading day. So um, that was kind of a lot to say over my regular blog post. I figured there was more detail because I've kind of learned a lot just on this one bottom bounce play, and I think it deserves some explaining, kind of how they work. This one is a terrible bottom bouncer, and I think a part of it was too the fact that this thing still has a long ways down to go. You can see the 50-day EMA is way down here. It's, you know, I just, it's still got a long ways to go. If it was in a downtrend or near the 52-week low already, so if it was hovering around, like if it would have broken down here, it's already close to the low. It's got more recovery room. This has still got a lot of room to go down. And so I think that's the problem with this bottom bounce play, and I'm going to change my strategy on that a little bit. There's a few that I'm watching for tomorrow. You've got this one. You can see it went way down. It's closer to the low. We had a negative 24% day again. So it has not started recovery yet. You can see it just made a slow down. Again, it missed its Q4 earnings, but it's still not bad. It's still, revenue was still up. So the stock will bounce, and you can see how far down it is here. It'll bounce. How it'll bounce exactly, I gotta study these a little more and play them a little better to kind of figure out exactly how to play them the best. I don't think that it's recovered yet. You can see it's way below the VWAP. It poked its head through the VWAP there. That was a 5.5% move. But it's still down here. It's making higher lows. You can see a little consolidation there. It might go back up in the morning, but I'm going to day trade these. This is not something I'm going to overnight hold anymore until I can figure out any sort of pattern. If you don't have day trades, you need to be using UStockTrade. I know it's not the greatest interface in the world, but unless you have 25 grand in an account, you really can't complain. $1 per trade to day trade, and you can play stocks like this. Another one that was great, we'll just talk about it real quick, was today, was ZSAN. I mean, it was just a perfect day trade. You could have traded this sucker multiple times, made a killing. It was up, well, 27%. 27% is where it closed, but it was up a total of, it pretty much doubled today, 100%. So you want to be able to day trade and be able to get, instead of just buying when you think it's hot. Even you wouldn't have bought down here, you would have bought up here, and you would have had like a 10% gain maybe, instead of realizing a 100% gain, because you can't. If you're out of day trades, you're out of day trades. And this one was just beautiful. You can see how it shot up, broke its resistance, hovered around, consolidated, wedged, busted up. I mean, it shot way up. These were 12-15% moves. Consolidated, found new support, held that support, broke the resistance, boom. I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. This was a great one. I was stuck in that freaking, the only reason I bring that up is because I was stuck in freaking GLYC all day and I couldn't play it. So that's my lesson learned. I need to use these as day trades, stay liquid a little bit. That's the other good thing about UStockTrade, is if you sell your stock, you don't have to wait 2 days for that settlement period. It's boom. It's T-0 settlement. So you sell a stock, you're right back into another one. It's great. So this is my video on GLYC. Call it your trader takeaways if you want to, but that was my trading day.